So look at this structure. Now we have two objects. Object 1, object 2. It is parent object. It is child object. When you say these two objects are said to be connected, we say these two objects are said to be connected only when there is a lookup relation or a master detail relation. These two objects are said to be connected only when there is a lookup relation or a master detail relation. Now, let us assume we have a couple of fields here. Parent field 1, we have a couple of fields here. These two are connected because there is a lookup field or a master detail field, which I am calling as R field. It's a lookup or master. The name of the lookup field is master detail field. Now the question is, cross-object formulas are used on the child object. If a child want to refer to the data from the parent, then only we are going to use cross-object. Cross-object is not used for referring to the child data. You cannot refer to the child data. Using a cross-object formula, you can only refer to the parent data. If a child want to refer to the parent data, then only we can go for a cross-object. Using a cross-object, child can refer to parent cannot refer to child. Using a cross-object, only child can refer to the parent cannot refer to child. I repeat, cross-object formula. If I want to use a cross-object formula, child can refer to the data from the parent cannot refer the data from child. This is only from child to parent. Now look at the point. Now the question here is, who created the R field? A relation may be created by Salesforce. A relation may be created by Salesforce. A relation may be created by Salesforce, or the relation may be created by user. If user create custom lookup field, custom master detail field. If Salesforce create standard master, standard lookup. Now, who created this relation? When two objects are said to be connected, who created this relation? Salesforce or user? Let us assume for now it was created by Salesforce. If Salesforce created, we call as standard relation. Then whatever the field name is there, R field, right? R field dot what was this? Name of the relation, whatever the lookup field is there, that field name dot parent field 1, that field name dot parent field 2. So whatever the lookup field we have, whatever the master detail field we have, that field name dot parent field 1, parent field 2, parent field 3. To give an example, we already have a account and contact objects. Account is a standard object. Contact is also standard object. Both of them are connected by lookup relation. Who created a relation between account and contact? It was created by account. We have contact. We have name. It is the name of the lookup relation. Who created this relation? Salesforce created the relation. Now, how do you refer to the fields now? How do you refer? Account dot phone.phone. This is how we are looking. Because the relation was created by Salesforce. Suppose if all field is a custom field, custom is user created. If user created, generally any field that user created, how it is going to be? Underscore underscores. Am I right? But here, that is not only field, it's a relational field. It is not only field, it's a relational field. If it's a relational field, we say underscore underscore R field underscore underscore R dot. If the field was created by user, if the relation was created by the user, we are supposed to give R field underscore underscore R dot parent field 1, R field underscore underscore R dot parent field 2, R field underscore underscore R dot parent field 3. This is how we are going to refer. I hope I'm clear. So let me give an example. Let us assume both of them are connected by lookup relation and user has created, let's say, name, same account in this team. In the contact only I'm creating last name. Who created this my account? We have created. That my account is a field which we created. We created. Then how you are supposed to refer to it? My account or a dot. This is the way we are going to take. My account underscore underscore R dot name. My account underscore underscore R dot industry. My account underscore underscore R dot. So this is called cross object formula. Using a cross object formula, what I can do? Child can refer to the data of parent. Child can refer to the data of parent. From child, if you want to refer to the data of parent, we are going to use cross object. Am I clear with this format? Let me take one or two examples on this. Everyone has followed? Right, boss? Okay. Let me do some examples on it. Now, I have a requirement. So we have payment. On every payment record, I want to display corresponding customer data. On the payment record, I want to display who is the customer who made a payment, what is the phone number of the customer, I want to display. When you are making a payment, I want to display customer name, customer phone number, customer email ID. Now, payment is what? Payment is a child of customer. Now, child can refer to corresponding parent data. Child can refer to corresponding parent data. So, whichever the customer is making this payment, that customer data should be displayed on the payment record. So, you are trying to print the parent record data on the child. Parent may have a number of child. On every child, we want to print the corresponding parent data. So, how it is possible? Let me create a formula field, view fields, new formula. We have customer name. Then we have customer name is going to be text. Next. Then we're going to take payment, customer, first name, followed by yes, last name. So first name and last name. Take the syntax. Are we ready? Customer underscore R. Why customer underscore R? What is the name of the field? Master retail field we have created. Name of the field is customer. If the name of the field is customer underscore C, we are supposed to write customer underscore R. Take the syntax. Next. So on every payment record, we are going to have corresponding parent data. So go to every payment record, you have customer data. Right, boss? This is how we are getting the data. Are you clear? So cross object formula is if the child want to refer to the data from the parent, it may be used for printing or it may be used for calculation. Then we go for cross object formula. I hope I am clear. Clear for everyone? Right? Now we want to continue with the validation rules. We want to continue with the validation. So what are these validation rules and why we want to go for it? If you want to check whether the format of the data what you are entering, if it is compatible with the business requirement or not. The format of the data what you are entering, is it compatible with your business requirement or not, is verified by validation. Now validation rules will check whether the format of the data what you entered is compatible with the data what you have entered. Now look at the format. When you say validation rules, there are two types of validation rules what we have. One is standard validation. What are the standard validation rules? These are created by the Salesforce and verified by the Salesforce. What are those standard validation rules? Required field is matching or not? Required field is entered or not? Data type is data type of the field compatible with data what we have entered. So when you say system validation rules, it is going to check whether required fields are provided or not, whether the required field is provided or not, whether the data type is compatible with the data what you are given. So this type of validations are verified by the system. They are called system validation rules. When you say custom validation rules, these are created by the user as per business requirement. These are created by the user as per the business requirement. Custom validation rules are created by the user as per the business requirement. Custom validation rules are created as per the business requirement. Now, when are these validation rules verified? When the validation rules are going to be verified? Validation rules are verified. Validation rules are verified when a record is created or when the existing record is modified. Validation rules are verified when a new record is created or when the existing record is modified. Under these two conditions, validation rules are filed. Now, what we are going to do? if the validation rule is true, it will print the error message. When it is going to print error message, when the validation rule is true. When the validation rule is true, it is going to print the message. When the validation rule is true, it is going to print the message. When the validation rule is false, it is going to save the record. When the validation rule is true, it is going to print the error message. So when the error message is printed, when the rule is true, print error message. When the rule is false, save the record. Okay. Now let's try out some examples now. So I have given first. Let me go with this first object. What was this? Loan object. My rule is last name cannot be blank. Last name cannot be blank. So if the last name is a blank, throw error message. My validation rule was the loan object. If the last name is blank, throw error message. You are taking the first one. Which object you are taking? Which field you require to perform this? What type of field is this? What is the rule? Last name cannot be blank. Because last name is blank. This way. So let us see, on the loan object, we are taking a last name field. On the last name field, we have a rule called last name is blank. Then throw error message, last name cannot be blank. So how to create the validation rule? Go back. Now what is it? Loan object, custom. Then we have standard fields, custom fields and relations. You scroll down, what you will find here? Validation. New validation rule. Define the rule blank. Is blank of last name. If the last name is blank, I think underscore C, I guess. Then take the syntax. This is how we create. Go to the loan object. We are getting error message. Last name cannot be blank. The basic, right, boss? Now let us do some. I hope I'm clear with this. What are you doing? On the object, we have standard fields, custom fields. Below that you are finding lead object. We are taking a lead object. What are the fields? Phone lead source. If you go to lead object, you have lead source, web, phone inquiry. What was the rule here? The rule is if lead source is phone inquiry, If lead source is phone inquiry, then and phone number is blank, phone number then lead source. This is the condition model. So lead object, field is phone and lead source. These are the two fields what I am going to use. Rule is if lead source is phone, inquiry, and phone is blank, then throw error message. Now lead is what? Standard object. If it is standard object, how do you want? Setup, build, customize, lead, validation. What's the condition? How many conditions we are giving? There are two conditions. First it should be lead source should be phone and if you want to take more than one condition, what is the possibility we have? And condition 1, comma, condition 2. And we are going to give and condition 1, condition 2 and so on. We are giving it and is pick val. Why is pick val? Because lead source is pick list tree. Is pick val lead source phone inquiry. If lead source is phone inquiry, then what is the second one? Lead source is phone inquiry and is blank of phone number. If lead source is inquiry and phone number is blank, then you are supposed to make it. What is the option we have? Lead object. On the lead object, you lead. If lead source is inquiry, phone inquiry, and make it. Very mistake here. Lead source is phone inquiry and phone number is blank, then throw error message. Lead source is where you want to print the message, on the top of the page or on top of the field? I want to print on the top of the field. Which is the field? I want to print on the top of phone. Go back to the lead. On the top of the field beginning, phone cannot be blank when lead source is right box. This is how we are giving the rule here. What was the rule here? What is the condition we give? And is equal of lead source it is a phone inquiry. Second point, there are two rules. First rule, this is how we are given. If lead source is phone inquiry and phone number is blank, then throw error message. Similarly, I have the next rule. Same field lead source rule. If lead source is web, and email is blank. Email cannot be blank. Now create this validation rule. Object lead. If lead source and email are the fields, what I'm going to use. If lead source is web, email and lead source is blank. Lead source is web and email is blank. Throw error message. Create the validation rule for this. The lead source is web, email is blank. Create the rule. Right. So we have done the two conditions what we have, and this blank of am I right? What was this? Is it right? So I was supposed to give is with well. Is with well of lead source is web. Then is blank of. Then you are going to give error message. Similarly, I have the next condition. I have one of the validation rules fired when a record is created and a record is modified. But for me, validation rule should run only when a record is created. When the record is modified, don't take the validation. When a record is created, only when a new record is created, I want to run the rule. I don't want to run the rule when the record is modified. What was this? Is new. This will return true. This will return the true if validation rule is fired due to a new record. Is new. This will return true if validation rule is fired due to a new record. If a validation rule is fired due to a new record, it is going to return true. So I have object operator. When a new record is created, new opportunity is created, and when a new opportunity is created and close date is today, error. You cannot say close date as today for new records. Whenever a new opportunity is created, close date cannot be today. Whenever a new opportunity is created, close date cannot be today. So let us check out this condition. How you create opportunity is a standard object. So set up, build, customize. Then we have opportunities. Then we have validation rule, new validation rule. So I have to check two conditions. What is the condition? Is new. If it's a new record and close date equal to date. If it is new and close date equal to today, then throw error message. Is new, so it's going to return you true if it is a new record. If it is a new record and close date equal to today, it's going to throw error message. Go to new. Close date cannot be. Right? This is filing only when a new record is created. So what is the purpose of validation rule? Whenever new record is created or existing record is modified, we are going to check the rule. Whenever new record is created or existing record is modified, we are going to check the rule. This is the purpose of validation. We'll see some advanced along with the scenarios. Okay. Right now, the way you create the validation is created for everyone. How to create a validation? You are supposed to create the validation by setup, build, create objects, choose the object. We have standard fields, custom fields, and we have validation. If it is standard objects, setup, build, customize, object. This is how we are creating the validation. I hope I am clear with this format. Okay, right. So this is how we have created objects and fields. Now look at the format. Every object I click, when I click on the tab, the home page will open. What is this called? Home page. This is called home page. When I click on the new, it is called edited page. Once the record is saved, whichever the record is saved, if you open it, when I click on this, it's called list view page. List view page, list of record. When you open any particular record, it's called detail page. What was that? Setup. You open anything, tab, home page, edit page. Then you can choose the options. Click what is called list view page. This is called detail page. This is called detail page. So object has home page, edit page, detail page, and a list view. If you open a detail page, what are these things called? Related list. What are these things called? Because all these things are called related list. We call them as a related list. What is the related list? Related list of chain. Related list is the word chain. Related list is the word chain. What is this? Chain of opportunity. Open activities of opportunity. Actual history of opportunity. Notes and arrangements of opportunity. This particular record, whichever the record you are choosing, right? This is the main record. Whatever you are finding here, this is what? This is the opportunity record. This is the record. For this record, we have corresponding fields. We have the corresponding field. What are the fields? Products, open activities. So this is called related list. These are called related list. What is this page called? We call this page as detail page. This entire page is called detail page. We call this page as a detail page. Detail page is a particular record. Detail page. Particular record. In the detail page, again we have this list. What are these things called? Related list. Now, related is nothing but chain records. Instead of we can call related or we can call child. We can call them as child list. I hope you are clear with this. I hope you are clear with this. So what was that? They are called detailed page or we can call them as related list. So we can go with this page again. If we go to this page again, so we are finding. So this is called home page of every object. Every object will have, when you click on the tab, you're going to have home page. So by default, it's called home page. By default, it's called home page. When you click on the tab, what is getting opened? Home page. This is the home page. Okay. Then what is this called? You are getting some options. What are these options called? List view options. What do we call them as? List view option. We call them as list view. What is that? Object may have thousands of records. An object has 1,000 units of record. Will I open all the records at a time? Object has 1,000 records. Will I show all the 1,000 records at a time? No, I want to filter it. Today's record, yesterday's record, Hyderabad records, Bangalore records. Like that we are filtering so that we can see exactly what we are looking at. Now, if you see all the 1,000 records, find difficult for me to identify my record. There are 1 lakh records. Will I be able to see each and every record? Very difficult for me. So, what I am doing? I am categorizing records created today, records created yesterday, as per my business. As per business, customer from Hyderabad, customer from Bangalore, customer from Hyderabad and Java, customer from Hyderabad and SWC. Like that, we are creating our own filter condition. So, the filters what I am creating is called list view. It's called list view. What are you finding? It's all list. How are you getting this? List view. The list view is coming because of option what you selected. You selected some option here. Whatever the option you selected, based on that option you are getting the value. This is what? Option. Whatever the option you have selected, based on the option you are getting this list of record. Now look at this. There are no records. Based on this option, there are no records. Based on this option, we are getting. Now what was that? Internally there was a condition. Internally there was a condition which is helping you to retrieve these records. Are you clear? Let me give you how to create your own conditions now. You created your own object. For your object also you want to create your own conditions. What I was doing? Create cash payments where mode of payment equals to now I got a filter condition. All cash payment. Create a new online payment. Where mode equals to all. You want to modify? What do you find here? Look at the format now. All cash payment, online payment. That's your choice. What is this called? List view options. Accordingly, you're getting. Then you want to create a new record. If you open a particular record, it's called detail page. So, edit. It's already first name, last name, city. You can apply. You want to create a new one, you can create. It's your choice. Right, boss? I hope you're clear with this format. It's called list view. When you are opening this, it's called edit. When you save it, it's called detail page. It's called detail. All these are called related. All the child objects, all the child records, This is the master record or a parent record. Corresponding child records are called related list. Corresponding child records are called related list. I hope you are clear. Everyone is clear? Okay. Now we are supposed to understand some of the standard objects and see how the existing CRM can be used along with this. As of now, we have seen how to create an object, how to create a field, formula, validation. But we are trying to understand how the existing CRM can be used, how the existing CRM can be modified. How the existing CRM can be used, how the existing CRM can be modified. Now, we will start with the first one. Product. So what is the product? Product. What your company is trying to sell. What your company is trying to sell. I am an insurance company. If I am an insurance company, what I am trying to sell? I am trying to sell policies. I am trying to sell policies. So policies becomes my products. Policies becomes my products. I am a, let's say I am a Honda company. I am selling the Honda vehicles. Now what I am trying to sell? I am trying to sell my services. I am trying to sell my vehicles. I am trying to sell my spare parts. Spare parts I am selling. Vehicles I am selling. I am also selling my services. So what I am saying, whatever that you are trying to sell, it will be a service, it will be a product. What you are trying to sell is called product. The services are the items what you are trying to sell. What your company is trying to sell. What your company is trying to sell, we call it as product. We call it as product. Now when you say pharma, the products are okay. The products what they are trying to sell, it may be drugs, it may be syrup, it may be lubricant, it can be a chemical, it may be equipment, or it can be a whatever it is. So whatever the company is trying to sell, we call them as product. Now I am going for a microfinance. What I am trying to sell? I am trying to sell loans. Individual loans, group loans, okay, Dwakra loans are okay, digital loans, small amount. Okay, this is a list of products what I am trying to sell. So my organization has a list of products. When I go to banking sector, credit card management, what they are trying to sell? Credit cards. Whatever credit cards, they have category of credit cards. Okay, they have category, business card, okay, regular card, visa card, some cards are there. Now what is that? What you are trying to sell? Bank people are trying to sell what? Credit cards. In the loan management application, I'm going with selling loans. Selling the loans. At the end of the game, what bank people are doing? Promoting themselves to sell the loans. Education loan, housing loan. People will not come to you unless you promote. The people will come to your bank. What do you promote? You have business developing managers, you have executives who will keep on visiting all the banks or industries. Boss, take the loan. They keep on making a call to you, boss. Do you want a credit card? Boss, do you want housing loan? So what they are doing? They are doing the sales. They appointed some people to improve their business. Now hospital people, what they are selling? Medical services. They are selling what? Medical services they are selling. What type of medical services? Depends again. Right? So whatever your company is trying to sell, it is called product. Whatever your company is trying to sell is called product. Whatever your company is trying to sell is called product. Now if we take Capital Info Solution, we are selling the products of courses. Now we are selling SFDC, Hadoop, AI, Big Data, right? We are selling couple of courses. All my courses become what? Products. Okay. So what was the product? Whatever your company is trying to sell. Internally, object name is internally object name is product. Internally object name is product. The next, where is the product? Let us say now I want to go for a small application. Now I'm a Hyundai company. Otherwise I'm a bank who is willing to sell some loans. I'm a bank who is trying to sell some loans. I want to sell housing loan, education loan, and all these things. What type of information you're going to say? Loan type. What is the product name? Some education loan, product name. Loan will fall under what category? Loan will fall under what category? Then what type of information we are going to give? Under this loan name, loan type. Then tell me what else? What else we can collect? Come again? Rate of interest. That we will change time to time. Okay. Still. Come again? There will come different format. This is only product. Information about the product, that's all. Okay. So some I can add it, rate of interest. Then come again? No, that will not be. Minimum tenure. Minimum you have to take 20 EMS or 30 EMS, what is it? Okay. So, now I got this type of data. Now I want to store name of the product, loan type, rate, minimum time. Now already in the Salesforce, we already have a standard object called loan. Let us understand how that object will be helpful to us. Setup, products, new product. Already we have product name, product code, active, product family. Now instead of product family, can I call it as, it is a product family, instead of product family I will call it as loan type or loan family. Okay, so what I want to do, here there is a none. Actually the family what we are supposed to get, housing loan, education loan, housing loan, education loan, vehicle loan, I will give some names. Otherwise we will go with the credit card. When you say credit card, is it a business credit card or is it a personal credit card? Is it a business credit card or is it a personal credit card? So what are you going to get box? Look at the format. We are going to say card name, okay, and family. What belongs to which family? Family means business, and we are going to get. Then what was that? Is it accepted for shopping? Accepted for what was that? Cashback. Is it a cashback card? Okay. Then cash transaction, cash withdrawal. Some information I give. So these are the fields what I require. These are the fields what I require as per my company. But if you look at this object, what are the fields we have? Product name, product code, product family. Here I need to give. I need to change the options here. I need to change the label names here. I don't want to say product code. I want to say card code. The credit card. Okay. Card type. Card. Okay. I don't want product family. I want to say it as card type, card name, card code, and I want to give. So what you are supposed to do? Whichever the fields are existing, they are suitable to you. But labels are not suitable to you. Options are not suitable to you. So what you are supposed to do? You are supposed to customize it as per your business requirement. Now what all the fields are there, they are suitable to you, but the label names are not suitable to you and options are not suitable to you. So what you are supposed to do? Customize them according to your requirement. How do you customize it now? Setup, build, customize, go to product object, fields. Now these are the fields what we have. Product family. The product family, I was supposed to give some options. What are the options we have right now? Here I want to give some extra option. What is that? Business card. I give some option. And I don't want none option. Now, if you look at this, the standard quick list field is there. Whatever the options you want, you kept the options. Whatever the options you don't want, you remove them. Go to the product object. New product. Ready? Product family fields. Right. Then we want some extra fields. What are the extra fields you want? Is it a cashback or is it a shopping cart? So I want to add new things. New. I want to give checkbox. credit system custom fields. This is how I created. So go back to the product, new product. So I have right. Now things are set, but I don't want to say it's a product name. I want to say card name. Card name, Visa Gold or Visa type. What is the card name? Card name I want to give, card type I want to give, and I want to change it. So what happened? Fields are okay, but labels are not okay for me. So I want to change the label names. So what I have done? In the existing field, if I want to add any extra option, I made it. In the existing fields, what are the extra options I want to add? I can add it. If I want to create a custom fields, I have created. Now I don't want the label names to be same. What you are supposed to do? Setup, build. You're finding here tab names and go to this rename tabs and what about that? Setup, build, customize, tab names and labels. Then here, what is the object you want? Click on edit. Do you want to change the name of the object? Your tab name or object name you want to change? I don't want the object name and tab name, the same name I want, but the fields I don't want. What you are finding here? All these are fields. So you are finding product family. Here I am saying product family. Here you are saying product name, product family. Then you are finding here as per my requirement. I modified them. We go back to the product, new product. We add a card name, card code, card family, and so on. What we have done on the instead of creating a custom object, find out as per your business where the CRM will fit in and try to make use of the existing CRM. Now, if you want extra things, you can add it up. No, you want to modify the existing labels, you can modify. But standard fields, data type cannot be changed. Data type cannot be changed. If you want to modify the options or properties, you can modify, but data type cannot be changed. Right? So, what is the first one we have? Object called product. Okay. Next, we have every product will have a standard price. Every product will have a standard price. Every product will have a standard price. Look at this format. Metric. I created a. So every product will have a standard price. Every product will have a standard price. Every product will have a standard price. Okay. Now next, we have a price book. Price book. What was this price book? Now let us see. What was the price book? Now we are offering. I'm offering the courses. Courses. Now look at the format. So course fee. Maybe say we are taking it HFDC. So we are taking pause. This is a classroom. Now HFDC if I am giving in the classroom, I am charging 10,000 rupees. Online if I am giving, I am charging around 20,000 rupees. If I am going for a corporate, I am charging 2 lakhs per day. Now what was this? Now what was this? Course is the same. Course is the same product I am selling. But if I go for a classroom, I am giving it 10,000. If I go for online, I am giving it 20,000. If I go to corporate, I am giving it 2 lakhs per day. Now what is that? Same company, same course, same faculty, but have different prices in different market. Right? Now let us say, now they are giving. Now my company, integration, they say, let us say, some 6,000 rupees. So specifically integration we are not offering in the corporate. What was this? Now, if you look at this, now my company is not offering all the products in all the list. The classroom we are giving all the 3, online we are giving all the 3, the corporate we are giving only 2. Now, when you go with this, here we are giving only for corporate, IoT we are giving for only corporate. So look at this. Same company is selling the same products in different regions with different prices. Right? So what was this called? Classroom price book, online price book, corporate price book. The prices for classroom are these. And we are not going to sell every product of my company in the classroom. We are not going to sell every product of my in the online. So what was it? Which products you are selling? What are the corresponding prices? As per this price book, what are the products you are selling? What are the prices? As per the price book, what are the products you are selling? What are the prices? All these are what? Hyderabad only. In my Bangalore, I am not giving all these courses. The Bangalore, I am giving only SFDC. I am giving only SFDC. I am giving data scientist. In my Pune branch, I am only giving networking and testing. I am giving in the Pune branch. Now what is that? Capital Info has 3 more branches, but here we are not giving all the courses in all the branches. Now if you take a Pune price book, we have only testing and networking. If you take a Bangalore price book, we are only having SFDC and data scientist. In Hyderabad price book, we have 17 courses. Now what is that? Boss, price book is what? List of products with the corresponding prices. Company will have different price books as per the business. Somebody may have region wise, somebody may have model wise, somebody may have industry wise, depends upon their business model. So what is a price book? Price book is a collection of products with the corresponding prices. Price book is a collection of products with the corresponding prices. Are you getting my point here? So what is a price book? It's a collection of products with the corresponding prices. Price book is a collection of products with the corresponding prices. Let me give you. Collection of corresponding prices. There are 2 types of price books. There are 2 types of price books. What are they? Standard price book. We have standard price book and a custom price book. So what is a standard price book? What is a standard price book? It is created by Salesforce. It contains all the list of products with corresponding standard prices. Standard price book means it is created by Salesforce. It will contain all the list of products with the corresponding standard prices. It is created by user. Search for the next one. Price quoted in the list. Facebook is called. Whatever the price you have quoted, that's called list price. Whatever the price you have quoted, that's called list price. Whatever the price you have quoted, that's called list price. Whatever the price you have quoted in the price book is called list price. In Salesforce, you have a standard object called price book, which will store information about price book name, price book name. What are the three fields we have? Name of the price book, is standard, is at. So, standard object, price book entry. It is junction object between product two objects. It will store every entry. So to achieve this concept of price book, people have internally has one more object called price book entry. So what are the objects we have? Product two object, price book two object, price book entry. Price book entry is a junction object. Price book entry is a junction object. I'll give the information here. It's something like this. In the product two, I have name of the product. These are the products. Similarly, I have another object called price book entry. Price book. Name of the price book. Now they got product and price book too. Now we have a junction object which is called price book entry. We have price book 2, product 2. So we have some standard prices. Now the price book entry is going to be, the price book entry is going to change. Standard price, which is a junction object. So here we are going to say price book, India price book, iPhone, what is the product? iPhone, standard price is 1000, list price is price book India, iPad, standard price is 200, list price is price book, US price book. This is how internally to be stored. So these are the three objects what we have internally. Product 2 object, price book 2 object, and a price book entry. To achieve the concept of products and price book, internally Salesforce has given three standard objects. So product is what? Anything that your company is trying to sell or service called product. Price book is what? It is a collection of products with the corresponding prices. To achieve the concept of products and price book within the Salesforce, generally it is offering three standard objects. What are they? List of all the products will be in product object. List of all the price book names are in price book object, and price book entry. Price book is the list of corresponding products. Price book entry. Which product? Which price book? Which product? What is the price book? Are you getting my point here? So to achieve the concept of price book, internally Salesforce is giving how many objects? Three objects. What are the three objects? Product 2, price book 2, and a price book entry. Now price book entry is a junction between product and price book. Which product price book? In this price book, this product is the cost. Look at this. In Indian price book, iPhone is 1000. In US price book, iPhone is 2000. So it is a junction object. What was this? Junction object. Now, if you want to add any extra fields, can you add it? Yes. How can you add it? Setup, build, customize, we can add. If you want to modify any properties, setup, build, customize, object, fields, you can modify. Except what? Data type. Except data type. If you want to change the label names, yes, setup, build, customize, tabs and label names. Right. So already existing CRM objects are there, product and price book entry. If you want to store the information, you can do it. Otherwise, if you want to modify, you can modify. So this is the basic information about three standard objects. What is that? Product 2, price book 2, price book entry. This is to achieve what? Products and price book information. Any company who is doing a business, they will be selling some other thing. Any company who is doing a business, they will be selling some other products. Whatever the products that your company is trying to sell, store them internally within these three objects. So that you will get automatically built-in functionality of price books and standard price books. I hope I am clear. Right. Similarly, we will see tomorrow how the leads can be customized. What is a lead? What is a lead? What is an account? How they can be customized. We will try to work out on the lead and account objects tomorrow. Right. So what you are supposed to do? Once you understand how to create fields and relations and everything, you are supposed to see how to customize the existing objects, what are the relations that we have between existing objects, how to customize them according to your business requirement. So understanding the standard functionality is more important than building a custom. Because we are supposed to make use of the standard functionalities more rather than building a custom functionality. Why? The standard functionalities have a lot of automation. If you are supposed to build the same thing using custom, you have to build all the automation also. So we are supposed to make use of existing automation on the standard objects and build your requirements. I hope I'm clear. Right? Yes. Any other query? Any other query from anyone else? Clear? Clear, boss? Any other query from anyone else? Clear? Right. That's all from my end.